Welcome to episode 1 of Vibrating Higher. I am your host, Entoria Nicely, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for clicking and taking the opportunity to watch to see what I have to offer. This first episode is all about me. I want to introduce you to who I am so that you can trust me in this journey that we're going on. Vibrating Higher is all about growth, all about evolving into who you desire to be. And I know that you learn from other people's success. So I hope to be an example for you. I hope that you can be an example for me. I just hope that we can vibrate high, becoming the best people that we can be. So let's get started. My name is pronounced Entoria Jazzelle Nicely. All my life, I've battled with my name. Like, what does your name mean? In Victoria, people saying it wrong all my life. So I reduced myself to Tori. And when I got to college, I realized, no, my name is Entoria, and I want you to say it. I want you to pronounce it correctly. It's different. Not everybody has it. I did search the internet. I saw a few people with it. But the fact that I have stepped into a place where I am totally okay with correcting someone in regards to me. If you don't have a level of respect for yourself, then how will you exist in this world? How will you grow? How will you challenge people that challenge you? So that's one thing that I still battle with. When people say, "Hey, what's your name?" I say Tori, because that's where I'm hiding. I'm like, oh, I don't want to say my name. I don't want to have to go back and forth with you to try to pronounce my name. So that's one thing I'm learning is my name is Entoria, and I'd like to be called that. I live on a bus route, so ignore that. I'm not about to edit all this out. Like, this is a brave step for me. So we're just gonna grow together and we're gonna make this work. I started my journey in life desiring to be a singer songwriter. And now, 32 years later, I am pivoting my life to go into counseling and therapy. Yes, that means going back to school, possibly a doctorate, because I have a deep desire to help people with the limiting beliefs that they have. It's taken me a few years to understand what that means and to, break the limiting beliefs that I have. But I desire to help people grow out of darkness, find their own light, because it's true. Like depression, anxiety, all of that exists, but finding a way to do it alone, finding a way to grow with yourself, because you are the only person who can change your life. And that is something that I'm learning, that I've learned just over the past few months. It's like, wow, all this time I've been going through life trying to figure things out and trying to follow this person, follow that person, when all I had to do was look inside. All I had to do was identify the things that I was doing wrong, and adjust them for me. Everybody's different and you only know you. So changing your life and looking inside can happen. It might take some time, but you have everything you need to succeed within you. So I am starting this series because I believe that my light can spark a fire in someone. And that's because someone else's light sparked a fire in me. So I'd like to see if we can create a ripple effect, changing lives, getting people to start businesses, getting people to just be happy. If it's just as simple as waking up and being like, I don't feel the pressures of life today. That would make me so happy. And so we're starting here. And I wanted to start here and introduce myself and tell you where I've been so that we can go forward on a journey together. So, for the past about 2 decades, I have been on a journey to discover who I am, what is happiness, and what my purpose in life is. I was always a rebellious kid. I was rebellious against my parents. I was rebellious against my grandmother. I was rebellious against God. Like I was the kid who went outside in the rain and yelled to the sky. This is a fact. I used to yell at the sky. I'm like, that's all you got? Yes, I know it's crazy, but that was me, unafraid, let's do this, let's go. But I was also shy. I was also quiet. If I didn't know you, I wasn't going to show you the silly me because I'm very silly. If I didn't know you, you were going to get Tori. You weren't going to get Entoria. You were going to get, hi, how are you? I'm Tori. Not, hey, I'm Entoria. How you doing today? There's a difference. So I wasn't, I wasn't out loud rebellious. It was just like, no, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to tell me this. You're not going to tell me that. And I don't believe it. Like I was just abrupt and, wasn't going to take any shit, period. I was raised by my mother, my grandmother, my sister, and God. And I like to include all of them in one because that is who, that's who I am. I'm a piece of every single one of them. My father was present but distant, yet I am equal parts my mother and my father. I have my dad's teeth and his smile and his laugh and his, goofiness. And I have my mom's passion and her artistry and her, just compassion for life and people. I didn't want to go to college. I was the kid who was like, I'm gonna find me a job, an apartment, a dog, give me a car, and I'll be good. I'll be happy. That was my measure of life. That was my, that's all I allowed myself to think happiness was. I was like, that's it. That's all I want. I ended up going to Bennett College for Women and falling in love in the fall of 2005 with Bennett College for Women. And I learned so much about myself there. I learned that I was a leader. I learned that I was a great sister. I found great sisters. And I learned that, life can be hard. I learned in college. I was like, oh, this is what it's like. I'm growing up. I'm becoming an adult, like most people do in college. So I graduated from Bennett College in 2009. Between 2009 and 2012, I went through the most, how can I even describe this? It was probably the hardest part of my life was my master's degree. And someone told me once, if going to get your master's degree was the hardest part of your life, consider yourself blessed. And so now looking back, I don't say it was the hardest part of my life. I say it was, one of the most difficult things I've done because it tested me. Bennett babysat me, okay? Bennett was, they spoiled me. So when I went to grad school, I was like, what is this? Y'all want me to do what? And I can't turn it in late. So I didn't even walk across the stage for my master's degree. I just got my degree in the mail and took a picture and was like, I'm done. I'm free. you know. Um, and so hopefully going back to school, I get to do it over again. I visualize myself walking across the stage with a degree and, what I'm still trying to identify, but I know the path I'm going on. But this time I want to do it right. I'm going to put in hard work and I will receive the reward. Um, and I feel bad for all the kids right now during this coronavirus scare, who don't get to walk across the stage for all the work that they've done. And I didn't have that feeling. I was just like, I'm free, I'm done. I don't care, give me my degree. Um, and yeah, but this time around, I want to do it right. Though my master's degree was difficult to get through, between 2009 and 2012, a lot happened within me. I got deeper with God. Um, I started to, study His Word and become, see who I was in Him. In 2010, I met my father's family. Well, I didn't meet them yet. I connected with them on Facebook, and my aunt reached out to me and she was like, "Hey, niece, how are you? Let's meet. Let's connect." I'd never met my dad's family. My grandmother on my dad's side reached out to me in a letter, and we used to communicate through the letter and on the phone. But both my grandfather died while I was in undergrad. My grandmother died while I was in grad school. And so at that point, I totally wanted to just disconnect. But when my aunt reached out to me, it's kind of like my life changed. I opened up and I allowed life to happen. I was like, this is, something I've been praying for. My relationship with my father has always caused me to question my worth. And by meeting my aunt, who is actually my uncle's wife, I was able to remember that it's not me, remember that, I am worthy, I am important, I am loved, and sometimes life brings you gifts, and that was definitely a gift that was brought to me. Also, out of the pressure of life during that time, I created a YouTube. I don't know how many of you have been following me since I went natural 10 years ago now. I started my YouTube when I was shaving my head, and now I have these locks. So life happens, life changes, grow into it. It's a beautiful thing. I had my black and white goodnights. I don't know if you guys remember those. And I learned to redirect my pain to uplift others in their own pain. And I learned that that is something that I love to do. We all are going through life, but if I can crawl out of my cave into the light and pull somebody with me, let's grab onto somebody else. Let's grow. And through this series, I'll go deeper into each of these things that I'm discussing and more, but I really just want to touch on certain things and move on. Like I said, this is just an introduction. But in 2014, I went through one of my deepest depressions. And the only thing that brought me out was I was on my way to work. I was crying. I was in my mom's car. We drove. I was living with my mom. We were driving to work, and she would drop me off in the car. I'm crying. My mom's like, "What's going on?" And my sister calls me, and she says, "I have a tumor in my brain." When I tell you life has a way, God has a way of growing you and changing you in ways you don't understand. It's not for you to understand. It is for God's understanding and for his work in this world. And if you aren't religious, I understand. I've been there, but there's no way I can go through life without talking about God, because God has been with me through and through. And some don't understand, and it's not for you to understand until you understand it, until it clicks. So you can just pass by that, and hopefully you still listen, and hopefully you still pick up nuggets that allow you to grow. But when she told me, I knew I had to put myself away. I knew I had to step back and realize all the things that were causing me to feel depressed were minute. I knew that I had to stand up and be there for my sister, and that is what pulled me out of my depression. The fact that I had to be there for my sister. I get emotional thinking about it because my sister is so strong. Like, we both are so strong, and nothing will stop us from reaching the joy that we desire. In 2015, she got her surgery, and I moved out of my mom's house in 2015. Got my apartment with my best friend, and I'm still here. So we've been here for 5 years. And it's been a blessing. It's taught me a lot. Independence. What do I want out of life? What do I desire? What do I love to do? Being in your own space allows you to learn more about yourself. But again, I'll dig deeper into all of that later in the series. And while creating this first series, and sorry, I'm looking at my notes because I can get scatterbrained, and I've already gone off script. So while creating this first series, I had to look back. I had to dig into my past over the past 2 decades and say, Entoria, who am I? And sometimes in life, you really have to look back over your life to see how far you've come, what you've gone through, what caused those things that you were going through, and just to say, who am I? And going back over the 2 decades, I've learned I'm a lifelong poet. I have maybe 4 books filled with poetry, 4 journals. I'm a motivational resource. I can't, my bio says I'm a motivational coach, and I'm using that because I'm manifesting what I desire in my life. But if you need encouragement, if you need an uplifting word, if you need somebody to talk to, that's me. I am an encourager. I'm a strong sister. I am brave. And that is one thing that is new for me. Being brave. Fear is a prison, and we have to break out. Fear is a prison with the door wide open. Fear is a prison with the door wide open, and you can walk out. You can walk out. You can step out. You can do hard things. Let me see, about to go off script. Not gonna go there. It's a different episode. Stay tuned. I am courageous. God is constantly working on me and through me. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a singer. Though some people don't want to hear me, but I don't care. They ain't never stopped my blow, okay? But yeah, I am me. So this series is called Who Does She Think She Is? And I stand proud and say I am Entoria Jazzelle nicely. And I literally wanted to create this to allow you to meet me, so that you can join me on this journey of growth, so that you can join me and stand proud in who you are. I know that because of where I was, I know that others are there too. I know that others wake up crying. I know that others wake up lost. I know that others are scared to show their light because they worry about what others are going to say. I know that you question your abilities. I know that you question who you are in this world. And I want us to grow together, to break those barriers, to break those chains of fear, to break those ideologies, those limiting beliefs that keep you from being all that you need to be in this world. So I hope that you can join me. I hope that we can grow together and discover more about ourselves. And more is on the way. Life continuously blesses us. And yes, tomorrow isn't promised, but in this moment right now, we can be more. And I hope we can be more together. So thank you for watching Vibrating Higher. This is only episode 1, and I'm excited. Are you? Thank you for watching episode 1 of Vibrating Higher. Episode 2 will be out next week, which is Dying Empty. Can you guess what that's going to be about? Peace.